Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski here, truth seeker and truth speaker, sharing today's science and fact updates. So, seems to be a raging debate. Now that Fauci said he lied about masks and everybody should have one, there's people that are beginning to believe him. So, imagine this poor guy saying, you know what, you are a threat to my safety. Well, you might want to question that, right? If the masks work, how could he possibly be a threat? Remember that mask is going to stop the virus, right? But let's look at the data. So, a study of infectivity of asymptomatic SARS-CoV carriers. By the way, this guy has no symptoms, never has, not worried about the bug. They followed 455 contacts. There were contacts 4 days, 5 days apiece, extensive contact, zero transmissions. So just go ahead and look up this PubMed ID, right? Easy enough, 324-05162. There was no transmission from asymptomatic people. So the World Health Organization said it's very rare. In fact, so rare that we haven't detected it yet. We're open that it may be possible, but probably not. So, when they're trying to say, look, we're all typhoid Mary, we're all going to kill our neighbor, well, that was clearly, could we call it a lie? I think we could. That was a lie. That was just plain a lie. Now, who's going to have a problem with COVID? Well, someone with high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart, kidney problems, breathing problems, right? Stuff like that. Which of these two guys is more likely to have high blood pressure? Which of these two guys is likely to have diabetes? Which of these two guys is likely to have high cholesterol? And then if they have that, wouldn't they have COVID symptoms? And wouldn't they be the one that would be risky to the other? But this guy says, I'm not worried about you. I've got an immune system. That's not a problem. But then he says, you're a threat to my children. Oh, really? Explain that. I'm a threat to your kids. How healthy are your kids? What are you feeding them? Tell me about the exercise they're getting. Tell them how you're leading to a positive outlook. Are you sure I'm a threat to your kids? Or maybe that's you. And by the way, they got their mask on, right? So that won't be a problem. That's like the vaccinated child, or unvaccinated child in a group of vaccinated, and then all the parents are panicking. It's like, wait a minute, your child's vaccinated. That's what's supposed to protect them, right? My child, yeah, they have a good immune system. They do things to stay healthy. So remember the history of respiratory viruses. They peak in winter, they're gone by summer. This one's a little different. Why? Because they kept it around. So now that they kept it around and then mingled, 1,200 doctors said, you know what? Everybody should get together and protest, right? And so they got, 10x the tests, and they had big crowds getting. Would we expect the diagnoses to increase? Sure. But wouldn't you think if this were deadly that increased diagnoses would lead to increased deaths? You might think that, but there are no increased deaths. Deaths are down. Pretty fascinating. This Dr. Scott Atlas basically says we are losing far more life with the lockdown and bad policies than this virus ever could have taken. And remember, crime, money, power, drugs are all linked. And I'll say it again, crime, money, power, health. No, that doesn't fit in the equation. Crime, money, power, nutrition. That doesn't fit into the equation. How does it fit? Crime, money, power, drugs. They're all linked. So let's just keep sharing that fact, and also share this fact. Kids are not going to their pediatricians. SIDS is dramatically down, even though domestic child abuse is way up and other horrible crimes like that. Fewer kids dying from SIDS, and that's just not a SIDS graph, that's overall death rate. So in spite of more kids probably dying from domestic abuse, the fact that they're not going to their pediatricians, we're saving a couple hundred kids a week, So parents, please wake up. Please wake up to that. Let's take a critical look. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, truth seeker and truth speaker, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.